guys, it's Gretchen and welcome back to my channel. Another video where my bare face starts it off, which can only mean a makeup video. Ow, my face is probably really red now from doing that. As you can tell from the title of this video, I am going to be doing another one of my album art inspired makeup looks. This time focusing on In This Moment's newest album, Mother. There's the album art. If you don't know who In This Moment is an American heavy metal band that formed in 2005 with Maria Brink and guitarist Chris Howarth. But I first discovered In This Moment a few years ago on Octane. I think it was SiriusXM Octane. They were playing a song called Roots, and I'm sitting there going like,
who is this moaning woman in my radio?
But then I looked into it a little bit more and I actually really like their stuff. So this past Friday, their newest album, Mother, came out. For today's look, I will be basing it off of their album art. As you can see, there are a multitude of colors, kind of. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna make them work because the two main colors, well, actually the three main colors that my eyes go to, other than the black that takes up the bottom half of it, is blue, white, and red. Patriotic. But I don't want it to be a patriotic look, so I am gonna try and do something a little bit different, kind of. Not really, because those are gonna be my main colors, red, white, and blue. So I think what I'm gonna do for today's look is focus more on the blue and the white, which is on the top part of the album art. There is red if you look right in the dead center, so I do think that's gonna be my lip color, but I think for eyes, I'm gonna focus on blue and white. Black will kind of mix in with the eye color as well. A lot of these album arts that I'm doing have a lot of black in them, so I'm trying to not let all of my looks be a lot of black because that's just boring. Let's have a little color in there, even though black is like my favorite color, but whatever. So I do think that's gonna be my thing for today. But as we start off with every album art inspired makeup look, or just makeup look, I have to put the cat ears on and pull my hair back because we don't want my hair in the makeup. And then I also have to zoom y'all in so you can get a closer look at this. So now that we're zoomed in, we're gonna go ahead and get started. For primer today, I'm gonna be using e.l.f.'s Hydrating Primer. I actually haven't used this one in a long time. I do like it because of the hydrating factor. It just feels weird going on. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It does leave my fingers feeling weird though afterwards. For eyeshadow primer today, I'm gonna be using Urban Decay's Primer Potion in Original. Just put a little bit on there, blend it in with my fingers. And as always, even though my eyebrows are microbladed, I do like to go in with a tiny pencil and just kind of not only clean up the areas, but just make it a little bit darker. Like how my eyebrows are microbladed, it's good for just like rolling out of bed because at least they're on my face then. But when I do looks, I like to actually have a little bit darker ones. Now that they're a smidge darker, as I said, for my eye look, I'm gonna focus more on the blue and white aspect of the album art. So I am gonna be using Jeffree Star's Blue Blood palette today, which is not one that I usually gravitate towards just because blue eyeshadow looks very weird on me, but whatever, we're gonna use it today. So for today's look, I believe I'm gonna be using Power, Cremated, and Undertaker. They're like the darker blues in this palette. And for the white aspect, I'm gonna go up here to Cullinan? I have no idea if that's how you pronounce that word, but this one up here, up top. It's a little shimmer to it. So I do think that's gonna end up being my eye look for today. I think I'm gonna do Power in the crease, Cremated on the lid, Undertaker on the outer corner, because it does kind of give, it's like a really dark navy, so it almost looks black, but it's not. And then for like a cut crease, I'm gonna do a little bit of the Cullinan, whatever it is. So I'm also gonna start off down here, Wealthy, because that is gonna serve as a really good base all over my eyelid. Some people don't put a base down on their eyelid. I do just because I feel like it makes working with eyeshadows a little bit easier sometimes. Maybe that's just me. So for the crease, I'm gonna go in with a fluffy brush and I'm gonna get Power, which is a matte navy. When I've played with it before, it doesn't come out as pigmented as these other two down here. That's why I'm putting it in the crease. See, it's a little bit more muted, even though in the pan, it seems very dark. But on my eyelid, it's a little bit more muted. For navy, I should say that. People are probably like, well, where on earth is that muted? Just wait till you see the other colors I plan on using. It's muted. Like, it doesn't look muted now. I also might look like a giant bruise when this is all over with. All right, now that the crease color is in, I'm gonna go in onto my eyelid. For my eyelid, I'm gonna go into Cremated, which seems like a very similar color to what I just put in my crease, but it's a little bit more pigmented. Not saying that it's not a similar color, but it's just a little bit more pigmented. It also has a little bit more of a blue tone to it, whereas the other one had kind of a smoky navy gray to it. Yep, gonna look like one giant bruise when this is all over with. And for the outer corner of my eye, I'm gonna go into Undertaker, which is a true navy. And I'm just gonna put that on the outer corner. And with that in my outer corner, I'm now just gonna kind of blend it into the other ones, like up into the crease, blend it out a little bit better. That way it just doesn't look like 3 shades of blue, or really navy, on my eyeball. And then of course what we do on top, we must do below. So for the under eye, I think I'm gonna do a mixture of Cremated and Undertakers. So Undertaker, I will start on the outer part of my lower lash line and move it toward the center. And then I'll go back in with the same brush, get a little bit of Cremated and finish out the lower lash line. Because it seems a little heavy, I'm gonna take another flat brush and just kind of blend them. All right, so now for the cut crease. I'm not gonna do the whole lid as a cut crease, hopefully. I mean, I do have hooded eyelids, so it could do something else entirely. But I am gonna do this thing where it's like just partial, like on the inner corner, and then going up into the crease, but not like the full lid, just kind of here, moving up. We'll see if that works out. But I'm just gonna take a little bit of my Cover FX concealer, which is like my new favorite concealer. I'm gonna take a little bit onto this concealer brush. And because I do have hooded eyelids, I'm gonna do like one eye at a time. It's just a little bit. Go in with a flat brush, get this Canon or whatever it is, pick some up and just put it where the concealer was. That's how that eye looks. It'll look cleaned up in a minute. Go with me. All right, so I'm gonna do the other eye, hopefully the same way. If not, I'm gonna pretend that I did it on purpose. All right, so there's the eyeshadow. I'm gonna quickly do the rest of my eye look. So I'm gonna throw on some lashes, throw on some eyeliner, and then I'll be right back. Okay, 5 years later, I have everything done. The eyeliner just didn't wanna work because I guess the eyeshadow was so dark that it just wasn't showing up. And then my eyelashes just didn't wanna stay stuck. So, doing well. Anyway, now that that is all done, I'm gonna finish just like with my regular makeup look while I talk a little bit about this album. So I really enjoy In This Moment. Like when I first heard them, I literally had that reaction of, oh my God, who is this woman moaning through my radio right now? And then once I actually like listened to a few more songs, I'm like, oh, I really like this. This is good. So of course I was part of, you know, the group of people who was so excited for this new album. So for me, this album wasn't awful, but it also wasn't stellar. It just wasn't what I was expecting. For foundation, I'm using my Bare Minerals hydrating stick that I really like. I don't know. First of all, I wasn't expecting 3 cover songs on this album. There's 3 cover songs and 2 interludes. And it's just like, you could have used those 14 songs for something a little bit more than 3 cover songs and 2 interludes. The first song on the album that I'm not a huge fan of is the cover song of Fly Like an Eagle. And the main reason why I'm not a massive fan of that is because last year In This Moment started off each performance that I saw them at with that cover song. And it was just so slow. And like, that's not how you want to start a performance off. You want to like go in balls blazing. You don't want to start off with this very slow and dragged out version of Fly Like an Eagle. That's what they did. There's a third cover song on this album that I had never heard of before called Into Dust. I didn't know it was a cover song, so I can't really speak on that one. But the other one that was on this album that I'm really honestly disappointed in is We Will Rock You by Queen. And this song was a collab song with Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm and Taylor Momsen from The Pretty Reckless, who is also known for being Little Cindy Lou Who in The Grinch, as well as Little J in Gossip Girl. That's how I discovered her. And so that alone, when I saw that the three of them were gonna be doing a song together, I was immediately like, oh my God, this is gonna be the most amazing thing ever. All three women are just powerhouses. I'm like, this is gonna be amazing. 2 out of 3 was amazing. Lizzie Hale and Taylor Momsen both did a remarkable job with their parts. There was even a third verse added so that all 3 of them could have a verse. But for some reason, Maria just sounded like she didn't care, which is a shame because when she truly puts her all into it, she's just an incredible singer. So it was really disappointing that a song that could have been hella powerful was only 2/3 powerful. Not saying she sounded awful in it, just saying she didn't sound what I expected her to sound like. The other 2 sounded great. For me, the best songs on the album were The In Between, which was that the first single? I want to say it was the first single from the album. So it was the first one that at least it was the first one I heard from the album. And then the other songs I liked were Legacy and As Above, So Below. A lot of people have pointed out that there's a lot of like electronic sounding to this album. It's still heavy metal, but there's a lot of, I don't want to say beep boop sounds to it, but you can definitely hear the electronic portions of it. So I don't know, there was a lot that could have been done, and especially since it was delayed by like I think 6 months. I was expecting a little bit more with that extra 6 months, but as other people have been saying, when someone delays an album, it's usually because there's some kind of issue, or a lot of people get worried at the direction that it ends up going in, because it's like, oh, you're gonna delay it that much longer, like what was happening beforehand, you know, what did it sound like before you all decided to delay it. It's kind of like with A Day to Remember, theirs is currently delayed with, I'm not even sure there's a date in sight at this point. I just would have expected more from delaying an album, you know? And this sounds like I'm being very negative about it. I'm very much trying not to be. There were some songs on there that were forgettable almost, which is terrible to say. So my biggest issue with the album was that several songs just sounded very repetitive throughout. So there's one song called Lay Me Down. I think that's what it's called, Lay Me Down. And it just, for one section of the song, it repeats Lay Me Down over and over again. It's like you couldn't have come up with anything else lyrically. Like that's all you had. And so the repetitive nature of it kind of got to me. I mean, that works for some songs, and I'm not saying that that's not something that can't be or shouldn't be done in songs, but I expected something a little bit more with the 6-month delay, and then just knowing how much of a powerhouse Maria Brink is, I'd expected a whole lot more. I was supposed to see In This Moment on tour with Black Veil Brides, but because of everything going on with the coronavirus right now, that tour was postponed. I do hope they reschedule. Haven't heard anything yet on rescheduling. I mean, obviously no one truly knows, just because reopen dates for things keep getting pushed. You know, at first it was just like, oh, 2 weeks. And it was like, oh, a month. Now, who knows where else we are. So I do hope that they will be able to reschedule, because I do want to see In This Moment. I love seeing them in concert. If you know who In This Moment is, and you've never had an opportunity to see them live, they're quite the show. Mostly because Maria Brink changes outfits like after every single song. So it's quite the spectacle when you see her come out with one outfit on, then disappear for a few minutes, then come back out with a new outfit on. It's just kind of like, damn, what's she gonna wear next? I'm pretty sure that that's something that she's been doing for a while. Like, I don't think that was just something on this last pour cycle. I do think this is something that is like their shtick. For blush today, I'm not really focusing on too much color on the cheeks, so I'm using Tarte's Sensual blush, which is just a nude to like make me not look dead, but also to not take away from the rest of the look. And then for highlight, I'm using e.l.f.'s White Gold. I haven't used this highlight in a long time, but I thought that it was a good one for this look. It's like a subtle one, especially since there's already so much like color going on with this look. We don't need to detract. Quickly do my under eye. I let my under eye sit a whole lot longer than anything else because that helps keep my like under eye makeup from running, that it doesn't go down onto my face. I don't know the sorcery behind that, but that's what it does. All right, so like I said, in the album art, you can see that there is a little bit of red like in the dead center. So I am gonna go in with Designer Blood, Jeffree Star, and I'm gonna put that on my lips, and it's gonna look patriotic in a minute. All right, now that the lips are on, gotta do a little bit of setting spray, as always. Fluff up the hair. And there you have it. This is my album art inspired makeup look for In This Moment's newest album, Mother. I mean, I actually kind of like how it turned out. I mean, the colors that I was primarily focusing on were the red, white, and blue. I know there was black in there too, but as I said, I'm trying to like not make all of my looks have that black aspect to them. I mean, it's a dark album cover, so I couldn't get away from that. I don't know, I kind of like how it turned out. Not too bad. But like I always say, these looks are meant to be wearable so that I could slap it on, go out to Target, and no one's gonna give me crazy looks. So I won't be going to Target now because of the corona, so I'm just gonna walk around my house with this on. I'm gonna zoom y'all out. Let me know what you all think of how this look turned out. I actually kind of like it. I'm very happy with how the eyeshadow look turned out, especially considering my hooded eyelids. So pretty happy. Also, let me know in the comments below if you have heard In This Moment's Mother album as well and your thoughts on it. I'm kind of like hit or miss with it. I like some songs, and those songs that I really like, but then there were just some where I was just like, you were so close. You were like right there. But that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big ol' thumbs up. Going down there and hit that subscribe button wherever it may be, because I don't know. Even though I do, this is just my shtick now. Also hit that notification bell in case you want to know when I upload, and in case YouTube wants to let you know when I upload, because I would really appreciate it. And until next time, bye guys.